Session 1, What Not to Do in Dating. Okay, I've been helping people in relationships for 20 years now. And the interesting truth is that a lot of people don't know how to date. And we often approach dating in the wrong way. How did you learn to date? Well, we typically learn what a relationship looks like from our parents. But let's be honest, our parents are bad dating instructors. They're from a different generation. The way they have the relationship are different rules than your relationship of this decade, this time period. So unfortunately, dating is a wreckage of trial and error for a lot of us. And we tend to go into dating with the wrong expectations. And think about it. What's your expectation going into dating? For some people, the expectation is to connect up, have sex. For other people, the expectation is to find their life partner. So understand the expectation that you go into your dating with will define what you're really looking for in your dating. A lot of people don't go in knowing what they're really doing and without an expectation, and it becomes a mess. So I'm going to assume you're looking for a life partner because that's on average what most people are doing. Now, the simple truth is looking for a life partner in a date is actually really tough because you're putting too much pressure on you and your person that you're dating. You won't know their life partner most likely the first date or the fifth date in. So the first truth is lighten up. Don't go in intense. Don't go in expecting that every date's going to be the one. A simple truth is our culture teaches us a wrong lesson. Our culture teaches us that every person could be the right person if you work hard enough. And so everyone's trying extra hard to make the relationships last extra long when they're not the right relationship. In other words, the truth of the matter is exactly opposite. 1 in 1,000 people are actually a person that you can have a long-term relationship with, and the rest are people you can be friends with or acquaintances with. It takes a deep chemistry to be the one. And you can't force that chemistry. You can watch the Tree of Love video, which will help give you some teachings on the chemistry and what love's all about. But the simple truth is, if you try to force your relationship to be the one, you're almost guaranteed for it not to be the one. So the first don't force the relationship. Don't try to make it the one. Rather, go into dating with a lightness to it, with a joy. In other words, with each interaction, with each date, you're not trying to make it a lifelong experience. You're just going in to learn a little bit more about yourself. You're going in to enjoy some time with another person and not to be alone for a little while. And that's a good reason to date, to experience life with another person. It doesn't have to be about life partnerships right away. But the interesting truth is a lot of people push dating to be about life partnerships right away. That's for later. The first thing, enjoy, okay? Now, don't overforce your dating experience. The more you force your dating experience, the faster it's going to go off the rails, and the faster it won't match up to what you really need, okay? So, when you're forcing your dating experience, you won't get the right results. For instance, you might be forcing yourself just to go on a date when you don't want to date. So a lot of people are lonely, and so they're dating because they're afraid of being alone. And that's the worst reason to date. Ironically, if you go into dating feeling alone, you are more likely to find an abuser. See, abusers will isolate you. They will remove you from your connections and friends so they can take your power away from you. When you're lonely, you're disconnected. So abusers look for lonely people. Lonely souls are abuse targets. So don't paint a big target on yourself by being lonely. Be confident, be sure of yourself, but not lonely. Because loneliness ends up being in a broken relationship. I will safely say 80% of people who are dating only because they're lonely will get into the wrong relationship. They'll choose for the wrong reasons. And that will always come back to haunt you later. So one of the simple truths of dating is learn how not to be lonely. And if you don't force the dating to be about lifelong partners, but rather release the forcing and make it more about enjoying an experience and having some fun, the faster you'll get more confident, the more you'll learn about yourself, and that becomes a self-feeding process of becoming a better person. Okay? So, the next lesson, the next don't of dating, don't be shy. Don't put your shy armor on. Shy armor is the worst armor you could wear, because if you're hiding from everyone, you can't be yourself. If you can't be yourself, you can't determine the chemistry. You can't really match up. And people will make the wrong expectations. A shy person expects the other person to see through your shy armor. No, no one can see through your shy armor. No one can see that inner light unless you open it up and show them the inner light. So people who are shy will not find a life partner dating. So you have to learn to be a little bit more open. You have to practice being open, and that's a hard thing to do. So learning to release shyness is a big part of dating success, it turns out. You can't expect the other person to read through your shyness. So learn to be confident. Now, a lot of people will try to release their shyness by being aggressive. Being aggressive doesn't work either. Yes, being aggressive may get you a few extra dates and a few extra dates after the first date, but it'll actually push you into the wrong people again. So not being shy doesn't mean to be aggressive. Not being shy means being more confident in yourself. So practice confidence, not aggression. Okay? Don't over push yourself. Work with yourself. That's really important. Now the next trap is rushing, which is a form of aggression. People will try to rush into dating, try to rush into a person. They try to push them into being the right person. If you have to push a person to be the right person, they're not the right person by definition of pushing. So don't push. Okay? Likewise, don't rush. If you're rushing it, that means there's something disconnected and you need to slow down. So confidence is the most attractive thing there is. Practice confidence. Practice pacing yourself and enjoying the experience. Okay? Now understand there are different reasons why people go into having a date. Some people are just looking for a good time or some sex, and there's something wrong with that. And some people are truly looking for a life partner. Understand the difference. And this comes to the next rule. Because I'm teaching you how to find a life partner, no perfume or no cologne. Perfume and cologne hide your scent. We're very sensual, and we need that scent to help find people that are chemically compatible to us. Chemistry is, we can smell chemistry. If you don't like the scent of someone else, it's a good sign they don't have good chemistry with you. So, if the person you're dating is wearing perfume or cologne, it means walk away. If you're wearing perfume or cologne, it means you're dating for the wrong reason. So if you're wearing perfume and cologne, it means you're looking for sex. If you're looking for sex and you're wearing perfume and cologne, great, go for it. But if you're looking for a life partner, wash it off, because it will actually mess up your odds of finding your true life partner. You don't need to skew the odds in your favor that way. It doesn't work. It's better to be patient to find your life partner than to force it. Which leads to the next lesson. People try to speed themselves into a life partner when they're younger. You know what? Wait till you're 28. Wait till you're 30 to marry. You don't have to find your life partner when you're younger, because we change a lot. Every 7 to 9 years, we change quite a bit. And that changing point around 28 to 30 is a pretty big one. So you're more likely to find your life partner when you marry between 28 to 34 than you are when you marry earlier. So a lot of people can be proud. I married my partner at 18. A lot of those people I'm working 14 years later at that 30 to 40 year change point because the changes were too big. The first thing we need to do is, dating is for a purpose, to experience a lot of different relationships. How many relationships make the distance? One. Which one? The last one. Which means all the earlier relationships, you don't try to make the distance. All those earlier relationships, you learn from them. Some might last 3 months, some might last one date, some may last a year or two. Those are all good because they each teach you more about yourself. The trick is not to force those relationships to make the distance. The trick is to learn from each of them so you can grow and become a better person and to enjoy life. So the first 10 years, you should be building yourself up, not trying to lean against another to make a distance, but to get stronger in yourself, to get a good baseline, to build up a strong life. And the stronger your life, the more confident, and the more confident, the better the life partner will be later. So take the time to explore. Take the time to date more than once. It's okay if you go through 10, 20 dates in a year because you're learning and each person's teaching you something. I remember one year I dated 75 different people. It was really important because it allowed me to understand chemistry, it allowed me to understand you want to be patient to find that 1 in 1,000. And then when I did find Julie, I asked her to marry me 3 dates in, and she married me, and we're together 15 years later. But I couldn't have done that if I didn't go through a lot of dating and a lot of calibration to find what really worked and didn't work for me. So it's kind of interesting. It's okay to date a lot. It's frustrating. Yes, it's very frustrating. But don't try to force it to be all about now and lasting a lifetime when it's about learning. Okay? So take the time. Now another don't is don't go to bars or don't go to nightclubs to try to find a life partner. If you're going to a bar or club, you're going to a bar or club to have a good evening, not a life partner. Understand the difference. If you're looking for a life partner, you're more likely to find them in the jogging club than the holiday club, quite honestly. So understand, look in your normal life for your life partner and be patient to let that life partner cross your path so you can recognize them. Which is another good lesson. Flirt. Flirting is healthy. Flirting is good. Practice flirting. Practice being natural in how you communicate. If you don't flirt, you're never going to find your life partner. You're never going to be natural in yourself. Flirting doesn't mean pickup lines. Flirting just means being comfortable to have light chat and fun chat and let that happen over time. See, the problem is people will try to force the flirt into a date right away. Never try to, remember earlier, don't force. So flirt. Get to know a person over time through that flirting. Let it grow over time and let it be an enjoyable experience. That's awesome. So get natural in yourself. Allow yourself to learn how to flirt. That's really powerful. It's part of being confident. Okay, now the other trap is don't be trapped by your family history or problems. Don't carry your bad dating history like a resume. Don't carry problems into the dating situation. When you're dating to release the day, you're releasing your problems to be in your strength, okay? The time to work on problems is after you find your life partner and you work together to grow. You don't work on your problems in the middle of a date, okay? You'd never date a doctor, for instance. You never date a psychiatrist. So don't force your dating partner to be a doctor or a psychiatrist to heal you, because it'll create the wrong type of attraction. People looking for white knights or people to save them will never find their life partner, because that will always create a codependent relationship. So when you're dating to enjoy life, to learn more about life. Learning is great, but not to force the healing process either. The healing will come naturally, but not to force it. So, some good dating advice. Don't be shy. Learn to be confident. Flirt. Go into the right places. In other words, you don't go to the bar. You go to where you live naturally to find the person that matches to you naturally. Don't go into a date depressed or shabby or beating yourself down. If you're beating yourself down, how is someone going to truly love you and bring you up? You have to learn to love yourself. Dating isn't a process of learning to love yourself. You need to love yourself before you date. So take time to be confident and love yourself in between your dates. And the dates are there to have fun, to see life through another person's eyes, to expand and do things you wouldn't normally do on yourself. Because remember, when we're with a partner, the partner is helping us be more. And what we're really looking for in a life partner is a partner that helps us grow over time. So when we're dating, we're looking for a person who helps us grow. That's not necessarily a person that makes us feel better all the time. So it's very different. Don't carry your family history with you. You're not your family. A lot of people will take their trauma with them into the date. There's no room for 3 people on a date. Trauma is not a good person to bring into the date, okay? Problems are not a good person to bring in the date. Bring yourself in, bring your A game in, bring in your happiness and your joy into the game. That is what will find you your life partner. It is hard. One of the reasons it's hard is we're looking for that 1 in 1,000 person if you're looking for a life partner. It means, yes, you will go through a lot of dates. So don't get frustrated going through a lot of dates. If you turn the dating experience around to not be about finding a life partner, but just to enjoy it, you will find your life partner as an ancillary process. In other words, a person that naturally fits into your life will then fit into your life. So all the dates are just teaching, they're lessons, they're moments to enjoy. If you make dating about enjoying, that's going to change the whole experience. Now, the other thing is, if you're doing online dating, a simple truth, your first date is never a date, okay? If you have a bad feeling before the date, don't do it. If you have a bad intuition, don't do it. When you go on your first date, it's actually a meeting. Go meet for a coffee. Go meet for a tea. Go to a place where it's easy to separate. Because the sad truth is, it's easier to have chemistry talking to a person over the internet than it is to have physical chemistry in the same room. So it means 9 out of 10 people you meet after meeting them online, you won't have chemistry with them when you meet them in real life. Only 1 in 10 you actually will have chemistry with. So if you force those meetings, because we're taught to force it, it'll go sideways over time. If you go into the first meeting without the expectation, without it being a date, then you could see if you like their scent. You can see if they make you laugh. If they make you laugh and you enjoy being with them, then you go on a first date after that. But if you don't, then it's easy enough to release and move on. Okay? Don't worry. If someone's ghosting you, let them ghost you. It means they're not the right person. And if someone says you're ghosting them, don't listen to that. In other words, you're looking for your life partner. If you really don't feel a connection to them, you don't have to connect. See, that's one of the traps. People try to force the connection. Don't worry about that. When the connection is deep, then you go with it. Okay? If you have fun, but the connection's not deep, then you could date lightly with that person to have fun with them, but you're not dating for a life partner. Understand the difference there. So understand, if you're online dating, meet the person first, and then if you like them after that simple meeting, then you go on a date. If you don't like them, you can easily back out really quickly after the first cup of coffee and just move on. So you don't have to do a second date. Don't feel forced. If you feel forced to do a second date, you already know it's the wrong person. Don't do that. It's okay to date multiple times. It's okay to have 10, 20, 30 dates in a year if you're learning from it. Don't beat yourself up. If you're beating yourself up, you're not learning from the experience. Learn from each experience. When I help people learn from this dating experience, I call it calibration. And what we do is we do after date review to feel what the chemistry was like. So then you can see why it didn't work. So don't blame yourself it didn't work. Rather, understand why the story didn't match up, why their flow didn't match up, why you just didn't feel they were funny, why you didn't feel they were comfortable. See, that's bad chemistry. Trust to that. So don't force it to be together. Trust to the chemistry so you can find that 1 in 1,000 person. It's okay to actually date a lot. It's okay to go through these dating experiences and grow. Make dating about growth, not about forcing it to be only about one person. If you do that, you'll have a lot of fun dating. Okay, so subscribe so you can keep up to date as we produce more of these dating school videos. And please ask questions because I will answer them in the next videos and we'll go further. Time to go to dating school. Have fun, guys. Bye.